So have a look at that. We've got the 9mm, we've got the 303 Browning machine gun, of which there were 8 in the Battle of Britain here in the wings, or 4 in this aircraft, the Mark 9. Also cannon armament, which is 20mm ammunition. And for those interested, the ammunition in a 20mm Hispano cannon wasn't just a bullet, it went bang when it got there, so it's a shell. It was found that the 303 ammunition wasn't downing the enemy bombers quick enough. They could get perforated, fly home, get repaired and come back to bomb British cities. So the Air Ministry, including Mr Churchill, thought we're sending these 19-year-old, 20, 21-year-old young men up in the air 4 and 5 times on missions for perforating the bombers, some of which were blown down, of course, and some of which weren't. And if you just excuse me a moment, I'll just go and get my ammunition just to show you exactly what it does. Right, in World War II, the Battle of Britain era, that Spitfire was armed with 8 Browning machine guns, of which there were 320 rounds per gun. Now forget Hollywood or video games. The amount of ammunition a Spitfire would carry with 8 guns, 320 rounds per gun, was 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, those guns are empty. They fire at that faster rate that you're going home. You're going down again for more ammunition and more fuel. And talking of fuel, it's on this particular type of Spitfire, it's a 27-litre engine. That's 27,000 cc. So those in the audience who might have a nice 2.5 or 3-litre car, if you can afford to drive them nowadays, this is 27 litres, and it burns 2 gallons a minute. It will last about 30 minutes in combat, because there's 85 gallons of 100 octane petrol sat right above your legs in the fuel tank. Now, why is the fuel tank up there? Because the wings are full of guns and magazines and all sorts of bits. So the Spitfire had the fuel tank sat over your legs, and if you watch the Battle of Britain, that's why quite a number of them are portrayed catching fire. Because if that was punctured, fuel would pour into the cockpit and light up. Not an easy place to get out of either. Open canopy, of course, acts like a blowtorch. However, wasn't all doom and gloom. That's the ammunition they were firing. If you look at it, that's the belt of ammo there. There's a few rounds there. That's the 303. Bit of down fighters easy enough, but not the bombers. Quite as easy. So they did something about it. By the time the Mark 5 came out, this is the Mark 9, they fitted that. 2 guns, that's the Hispano cannon round. Now there's a difference on this, because that head, we'll just get that out, that head goes bang when it gets there. It goes inside an aeroplane, it's timed to detonate or compression inside the aircraft fuselage and blow up. Or it can be an incendiary, which means it's full of all sorts of nasty compounds that are very difficult to put out. Excuse me, I'm shouting over him. Also armour piercing. Armour piercing wouldn't be any good against German tanks, which had 100mm armour, like a Tiger, but it certainly would devastate locomotives and softer skin vehicles. Now a lot of people think that the Spitfire would have virtually unlimited range. It had about 400-mile range in combat, 40 minutes flying time. 2 gallons a minute, 85 gallons in the tank. That's super on, isn't it? That leaves 5 gallons to play with. You'd need a bit more than that. If you came back against a very strong headwind, you'd have to remember that you came out with a tailwind and went back with a headwind. The other thing is, this type of Spitfire, the Mark 9, of which we've got some reports for out now, was capable of 420 miles an hour in level flight, at a staggering altitude of 42,000 feet. One of the test pilots, Alex Henshaw, had one of these at 42,000 feet. That is higher than some jet airliners go. However, at that altitude, it's that cold, normally minus 50 or 60, and of course, dogfighting up there, no chance. The air's too thin. So, basically a Spitfire would dogfight probably at max altitude of about 27,000 feet, or 30,000 at most. But German bombers were coming in at 18 to 25,000. Now, the other thing about Spitfires, people say to us, what was the best fighter of World War II? Now, this is talking to people, not Hollywood or books, the people who did it for real. That includes the Luftwaffe guys, many of which are now disappearing, of course, and the RAF guys, and even Japanese fighter pilots. There was no best aircraft. It depends how it was flown and how it did it, because the Messerschmitt in the Battle of Britain was as good as the Spit, but not in every way. And the Spitfire was as good as the Messerschmitt, but not in every way. There were differences. I'm not going about that now, it's a little bit technical, but both had vices, and both had good things. If anybody asked and say to you what was the most manoeuvrable dogfighter of World War II, that would have to go to the Pearl Harbor era Mitsubishi Zero. All fighter pilots early in the war were told, do not dogfight the Zero, it will outmaneuver you. However, if you did high-speed passes past it, that was your only killing method in the early war years. Even Corsair, the mighty Corsair, couldn't handle a Zero unless you did a high-speed pass. Now then, ladies in the audience, what did they do? Well, they built them. We've met many ladies. One, they do it like your rivets, they bang on. One was an electrician, other lady, and ladies flew every type of aircraft in World War II. You're going to say, no they didn't. Oh yes they did. The Air Transport Auxiliary, with a map and a compass, went in the dead of night delivering brand new aircraft to the fighter bases and bomber bases. One lady had 38 different types in the logbook, ranging from fighters, transports to bombers. Now there is a funny story where we come from Walton, just over the water there. Well, we're not actually from Walton, from Lytham, but it's near to. The young lady left Walton with a B-26 Marauder bomber, delivered it to Suffolk, an air base, and she went to the Colonel, American, who went to sign for his aircraft. He said, will you sign for your aircraft, sir? And I go home then. He said, yes ma'am, where's your crew? Well, I'm in. No, that's not possible. He had the aircraft searched for the crew, and then had to eat humble pie, come back and sign for his aircraft. But ladies are allowed into combat these days, and there are Eurofighter skippers going through Cranwell as we speak, who are female. There's quite a number of Tornado pilots, and I believe one of the Red Arrows is a lady. But let's not forget that in World War II they did fighter controlling. They did all manner of things and manufactured all types of weapons. So that's one for the ladies. Now, I know that quite a lot of young ladies in the 30s did quite remarkable flights. Amelia Earhart comes to name. Anna Reich of Germany. She was the chief test pilot for the Third Reich. And she was an awful lady, I believe. But very, very brave lady. When I say awful, she made the aircraft what they were for Germany. A very good fighting force. She designed, in her own ways, how to dogfight and maneuver these aircraft. So she did a lot of good for them. However, some people say the Mustang fighter of America, which by the way had a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine in it, was the best fighter because of his range. Best overall fighter. Well, that's okay. Thank goodness we had them. But having said that, it was a British specification, was the Mustang, not an American specification. It just so happened that North American Aviation Company had some spare capacity to build the fighter. And that's because Britain was building these, of course. Now it brings me to the other bit now. If you do want a photograph in this aeroplane, several photographs, we'll put you to May West at the Cat with a small donation, see my colleague, and you get a range of photographs sat in this iconic fighter. All the money we raise goes straight to the Fighter and Bomber Command Memorial, to the men and women of Fighter and Bomber Command and the Mighty Eight that flew from Britain, and 70,000 young Americans also didn't go home. 55,760 Bomber Command men didn't come back from Germany, nice. That's not Fighter Command, that's just Bomber Command. So we're raising funds and we're nearly there now. We've got a huge pole at Fairhaven Lake, Lytham St Anne's over there. We're going to put one of these on a plinth for the aircraft crew to be painted, and there will be a plinth underneath it to honour the men and women who didn't survive the war. Enjoy the rest of your day, thank you.
Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 2012 Woodvale Rally here at its temporary new showground of Victoria Park. All your friends and everything you wanted to see down at Woodvale is here at Victoria Park, just a different venue. Do check your program guide to see what you're looking for. Of course, if you can't find it, please ask a member of staff. Anyone in the high buy should have some idea where you're going and what you're looking for. There's been a few changes. The program itself here in the Central Arena, we've had to move the Vander Brothers Wheels of Death. They're now at the top end of the showground. So you want to see the Vander Brothers? I think they've got the Wheel of Death out there today. So that's an incredible thing to see. They're at the top end of the showground. Here in the Central Arena at 2:45, we have this fantastic martial artist, United Martial Arts Academy. If you haven't seen them yet, you're missing them in Scotland this weekend. Don't fix them. So we're back here again. Wonderful to be back here at the Woodvale Rally. We enjoyed the past 2-3 years we were down south, so it's nice to be back with you again. So here in the Central Arena, 2:45, United Martial Artists. Don't miss them.